ngai no tini teri no tini hosolo ke cha she ama dize nga chen ko no lo ni ka sa din du zi yize tini nga pe ka du nga di no hosolo she ya yize to kanda reze no tini to kanda reze no tini jam ka cha di she ta ta yi no pe jam go li kha cha so me ze de to nga so kho so go li no nga so thu pa jo gi de man du nga so ye no ngo go cha ja kha ka pe so so nga so ja ro mo che ma se re la nga so pe pa kanga khoro so ngo go che pe mo mo sa si do mo ni ha zi se 차례지 되니 커서그 열리는 가서 먹고서 기대 뭔가 커서그 짜듯이 가서 돈이 되니 커서 작발에 가서에나 되니 커서 몰래매 된다서 셔티즈르지 되니 저때는 점벌리게나 되니 가서 뭐뭘 라빠서 가서리나 되니 가서 마시아 기제쇼를 말에 어야 되니 먹고 제 기제쇼를 말에 가서 토토기 가서 로크 사자 롤테로제면서 잠을 사자 가서 테로제쇼를 말에 가서 뎀바가 로든 점벌리 롱카니 올레즈 롱카치데 잠고도 zama kati chuchu she shulre ngaso kata demba lanka reze demba lanka ngaso ropa zoru chi zombali pheto se to tana jamo ke no tin chadi she mana janali no tin tanda kate ni holumbe yena ta to tomo che tin ramanda zo shulre ngokko tu oya tanda mata ngaso yena tin ngoma che ka thanche ke no tin demba ka lotala jong tense janso to ngaru mage chanda so ze ngaso pe momo pe chaka so ko momo to rok sacha rok dapote a rok tini ngoma che ko cha rok inja ja rambo che de che pota la le ju pe momo yede koronzo a tetil ye no tini ngaso rapa sak zo na ngaso pel deshin zo so re jamo ko ngaso che go ngoni jana kanga za ka so ta so ye no shepo cho se to ngaso pe geno re mus ko so chol re ta za tini ngaso le che go ngoni jakwa chopo chuchu zati zombeli ko rapa so ngaso pe momo khanche ya lo ngaso ye no tini ngene to ne ni matari no machuzer nga mage no kana ye no roso to nga sopo ko machada ze kuba ko machada ten ko no dupo nyonya ni ta gendo re kuba ko machada mas nga hoso ngogo zore nga pal nga mache ko e manda ke nga gamo yo ze tini jambal nga ru kata ta so te no panol o tari ama de horu tana se yi o ya pel thotor o nga li ze nga tana se chi li ze tanda ke tini nga sel dunga nga ze nga ru mashakul jor bo che de te potala li ju nga so pe choka so de jede koronzo rok sacha rok da pote rok tini ngoma che goncha rok jede mayu pali no tini zombeli ke josho zo nga se no thonche ke demba ke lo tini nga so lo ropa che ro je nga re
ngara ni ja pe ne sa tu jo san jo shi ngara tare ja ga na zu yong go mi de dus ne je shu ga yong bai eni ne tare ngara pha mo lo go ngara ge tu ne ngara zu jen ji shung da ga na shin eni jen ji na ne de phe phe de nam le ya an zu jo wa kha ngara ge bi ge da tu shu ni de sung dan ting san cha sha ngara zu ge 여기 내된데 하장급에 인게 지부지 차대 여. 근데 선장 다른 게도 자나게 올림픽 대처도 예배가서 대신 대처버이나 나란주 변나로야 아니 지금 할람 베티 자타게 인게 딜레 숙체를 넣어야 근데 내다신 주고 유대전번에 다른 치기 수비를 변도 남아다. 다가는 시전지 자가노로 예대베 전주 미마 참물로 그 디톨을 흉내 시켜제 디톨이야 language pe ya ga gun da to shu ye kesi ngara zo dinde chige khane do language pe na ran phana shu be 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 na changma lo ga ani losin chig ne je ani be yawa je san da ba de ki da ga ne se del thol ya ani jab jo tha je do shu ji ba ma se ngara zo go dine de chon ne language gar pe ne del ya ani phana mi changma lo ga ani dhati angsa je del jab jo je so je tha chig do ani do se del
In the 1950s, Mao said Tibet's part of China, tried to tell the world that even though he was a liar. He sent in 50,000 troops to be precise, to invade Tibet with guns and start taking lives. I've gone on marches before and I've seen a lot of people through central London not know what the hell we're marching about. So I think that everybody, Tibetans or non-Tibetans, need to do something on that day, whether it's through protests or whatever talents they hold, so everybody knows about what happened. Because out of respect to the people that died and for the cause for our country. The Chinese put their guns in the hands of Tibetan kids and forced them to shoot their parents dead on the strip. And if that wasn't enough, they destroyed ancient relics, statues and temples. The Chinese were pathetic. The country doesn't belong to someone, yeah? And for a country to just walk in and take it over and all other countries are not willing to help, the cause and they know it doesn't belong to them. It's just absurd, basically, saying that someone can walk in and take a country and take your culture and say you can't do this, you can't have your own language, you can't have your own flag. That's a good enough reason for anybody to come together and, you know what, and represent and come out and protest, because you can't, you just can't do that. It's like taking somebody's life, their soul, everything away and say you must do this. It's like some sort of slavery. So there's a good enough reason. But my Tibetan side says I should show compassion, but my black side says I should fight with passion. I'm a Buddhist, so yes, I try and be peaceful, but I feel like a fool that's been waiting for a miracle. It's been over 50 years, China's living a lie. I ain't got enough tears for all the Tibetans that died. On money pen me hong is what I say inside, so I stand up tall and rep Tibet with pride. On top of that, you know, we are peaceful people, we never done nothing to them for China to come in and invade us. So you just see the facts and you can see that is a good reason. There's no 50-50 or maybe they should take us over for this reason. It's just no, full stop. They've got no right to take our country, and that's a good enough reason, especially for the people that died, for you, for whatever you're doing, to get out and protest or do whatever you think can help on March the 10th. You know what I mean? The funny thing is, China used to have a religion. They used to be Buddhist, but now look at their acting. But as long as I'm alive, I'ma keep running my gums. I'm the guy screaming free Tibet at the top of my lungs. Easy.
They're shooting them like dogs. Yeah.
8 o'clock, one freezing morning at the Nepalese border. At 5,700 meters altitude, it seems the time is always frozen. Dozens of Tibetans are walking in line silently through the mountains of snow, trying to reach India and see the Dalai Lama, their spiritual leader. The deep silence of the camp, where Romanian and foreign climbers gathered, is killed by a machine gun. Everybody can see a Chinese soldier standing in the shooting position. He opens fire. The bullets hit human flesh. Tibetans fall to the ground. One of them seems to escape the bullets but is hit by a second round. He dies in the snow. As if nothing happened, the group of pilgrims walks away and never looks back. The Pro TV cameraman gets the incredible scenes on tape. He is 1 kilometer away from the Tibetans when he watches another victim falling down. The Danish and the British climbers are simply overwhelmed by what they see.
It's very strange for me to see all this thing happens, to see this thing happen so close. I'm not used to it. I don't know what right the Chinese think they have to do things like this. There's no need to kill.
Hours pass by. A stranger arrives in the camp. He is one of the hunted Tibetans. He hides in the toilet.
You wanted to go to Dalai Lama?
There's a Tibetan in the toilet behind me, hiding from the Chinese military. Another Tibetan man was shot and left to die in the snow over 5 hours ago. I saw the soldiers firing. Sergio makes a risky move. He helps the Tibetan with some clothes and food. I gave him some of my clothes. I also shared with him some food I had. In the distance, 3 Chinese soldiers count their victims. Undisturbed, they leave one body in the snow. Trying to find new information, the Chinese soldiers enter the climbers' camp. They have more than 20 prisoners, 7 of them are children. For them, the pilgrimage to the Dalai Lama will end in a jail cell. The Chinese soldiers are smoking, relaxed. For them, it's just another successful mission. In spite of what all the climbers witnessed, the Chinese news agency, Xinhua, announces that Chinese frontier soldiers tried to persuade the group of Tibetans to go home, but the Tibetans refused and attacked the soldiers. These were then forced to defend themselves and to wound 2 persons. This is just another episode from an endless story. It started 47 years ago when the Dalai Lama was forced by the Chinese troops to flee in Dharamshala. Now the Dalai Lama heads the Tibetan government in exile from India. Just to see him or touch him, many Tibetans pay with their lives. Meanwhile, year after year, they are forced to watch their beloved religious temples turned into rubble.